There was a 6-foot metal globe of meat spinning over a fire. How did that not get 1 million views? But me eating a 3-pound hot dog to get boggled my mind.
Totally.
If I'm like in a rut and like I'm not getting the views I want, I'm going somewhere to get a cheesesteak. There's a hot dog place and they sell a 3-pound hot dog. So just imagine like 5 dudes in an SUV just drank a bunch of soda and a bunch of hot dogs. There's like farts, burps. I'm just gonna make a reel of what we just did. I just sent it out. The video did like 1 million on TikTok. I got like little tricks, like I'll say a word incorrectly because I know there's gonna be at least 5 people breaking my balls.
I love it.
I know umi means wave, but I'm gonna say you and I, and people lost fun.
You're ordering a lot of different items, or do you try to just stick to one?
I order a lot of stuff.
That in itself, I think, might be a little bit unique.
I don't waste food, so the food that I don't eat comes home.
Makes the soup.
Makes the soup. The best performing things are meals that are under $20.
Everyone has an opinion on a cheesesteak.
It's not about you, John.
It's not.
It's not about what you find interesting.
Not.
I get like 3 to 4 meals a day. I want to make sure they count.
3 to 4. I love it. Go on.
Well, you know, like first dinner, second dinner.
The first.
This episode may contain explicit language not suitable for all audiences.
And this is the NJCS Content Studio Show, right, John?
Yeah, I guess we're going now, aren't we?
are on.
This is indeed the NJCS Content Studio Show. No,
Weird.
the NJCS Show,
That's it. There we are.
where
Cue
we
the music.
interview creators and businesses in the area doing big things, noteworthy things. Today's guest is David. David, help me with your last name.
Wazalowski.
Wesolowski.
You don't look like a Wesolowski.
I do not look like a Wazalowski.
Where does the ski come from?
I am, well, Polish. So my mom, well, my father is a Wazalowski and a DeLuca, and my mother is a Benkowski and a Malakowski. I am adopted.
Shalom.
Yeah. What's funny is like throughout high school and stuff like that, like they'd be like, Mr. Wazalowski. I'm like, is there a Mr. Wazalowski? I was like, yeah, that's me. That's me.
Wow.
I got a bag load of stories. Like just last year,
Wait, did you say bag load?
I got a bag load of stories.
Huge bag.
What would you call it? I'm out to eat with my coworkers in the city at a Chinese buffet, and I just happened to be wearing a red golf shirt tucked into my slacks, and it just so happens to be the same outfit that I guess the host is wearing.
Okay.
And this lady is looking at me, like giving me the eye, and I'm just like, can I help you? She's like, yeah, you can get me some more crab legs. And I'm just like, I was like, what? And she's like, go get me some more crab legs. And I'm like, oh, in my head, I'm like, oh, she thinks I work here. And I was just like, and I could have gotten upset. And I was like, oh, yes, miss, I'll bring them right over to you. As soon as they come out, I'll drop them to your table. Where are you sitting? She said, I'm over there. I was like, all right. So I wait there now. I didn't even want the crab legs. I wanted my crab ragoons and my wings. So I wait there. They put a whole new tray, and I take the whole tray. I fill up 3 plates, and I start walking over to her, and she gets so happy, and I just do a beeline over to my table, and I sit down, and I was like, I don't fucking work here. And she's like, what? And I just cracked all those crab legs, and I was like,
That is incredible.
big ass smile. Don't ever assume.
You just lived out, I think, a fantasy a lot of people have. Right? Of just like completely messing with someone like by design or on purpose.
So good. Yeah, whenever I go to an Italian restaurant, they think I work there too, Wes. I can really relate to the plight. I get asked for meatballs
Can I
every
get a
time.
wine list, sir?
Yeah.
Just start clicking. Like,
Well, right the way.
Do you? Do you really get asked?
No. So
Weird.
So Dave, does everybody call you Wes or just your close friends?
I would say if you've known me from 16 to 25, I was Wes.
Okay.
Like my close friends called me Wes. But if you met me 25 to now, it's just weird introducing myself as like, hey, my name's Wes.
Sure.
There's people that in my adult life that didn't know my name was Dave. They thought my full name was like Wesley.
Yeah.
And just didn't know
sure.
my last name, which is funny. But like, I'm not introducing myself as my nickname as an adult, like a real adult now. So it's just Dave.
Totally.
But what's your Instagram handle?
It's FeedingTimeTV.
Okay.
And you have another show as well. And so that one, the podcast is...
Delicious City, Philly.
Okay, excellent. And you're having great success with both of these endeavors.
Yes.
And we really wanted to bring you on to talk about it.
Yeah.
Candidly, 80,000, approaching 90,000 followers on Instagram alone.
Yep.
Wow.
For Feeding Time TV. And I think that's quite impressive because it's a tough space. You're in a
saturated,
super crowded, saturated niche.
Yep.
You're local. Well, you can tell us whether or not how much you branch out, but my impression is you're mostly local, and yet you've managed to run all the way up to 90,000 followers. Not nothing. That is legit. So let's start there. What was the motivation to start this, and what has been the incentives to stick with it?
Well, funny enough, this wasn't the way that you see Feeding Time TV on Instagram. This isn't how it started.
Yeah.
It started off as a cooking show during the pandemic where me and my buddy were just bored out of our minds. This is granted when you weren't allowed to be in the same room as someone else. Because like when we first launched the videos, people were like, you're supposed to be 15 feet away from another human being. I was like, give me a fucking break. I was like, I haven't seen another human in like 2 weeks, so we're filming. And we did cooking videos. We did fun little cooking videos like crab ragoon egg rolls or a Big Mac Crunch Wrap Supreme. We're just doing, or like $150 Bloody Mary made with stateside vodka, crab legs and cheeseburgers. Like we just did fun stuff, but we would have enough content to release a video once a week every Wednesday. So I had to fill in with other stuff. So I filled in like what I was ordering out or what I was cooking at home. And then Instagram started pushing reels, and people liked the content when I was actually eating other people's food more than when I was cooking my own food. And which kind of, it sucked because like, not only am I spending a lot of money on ingredients, but times to come up with what creative things should we do? And then we film all day,
Right.
And then we edit, and then like we weren't getting that much engagement. So you kind of have to like eat some humble pie, be able to be flexible, and you just kind of change. And that's what I did.
Okay, actually, so many things you said already that I want to drill down on.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, are you at the time, because this pandemic, are you laid off? Are you out of work?
No, thankfully I still have a full-time job. So I was very fortunate that I had money coming in. And so I was able to buy like lobster tails, crab. Like because at that time I was like a heavy drinker, and like I partied a lot. So the pandemic forced me to like calm down. So I was like,
The pandemic calmed you down.
yeah, I was like, where's all this extra money coming from? Because I'm not spending on booze.
I fucking ramped up.
Okay. But you were maybe locked down, so you were bored. So you're like, hey, let's do this channel. Right?
Yeah.
How far into the channel are you where you're like, you know what? We should probably pivot, because it sounds like you made that pivot pretty quick, and a lot of people don't.
It was when Instagram started doing reels.
But like, how long into the filming of your content journey where you're like, we need to switch things up?
Maybe a year.
Oh, you were a full year in.
Of making your own food related. You're a cook. You're a quote unquote chef.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not a chef. I'm like I would say
Amateur cook.
At home cook. But
You
yeah,
don't starve.
I think we did it for about a year, and then we just saw like, all right, I think we need to teeter and change what we're doing. Maybe just under a year.
I'll just reiterate, a lot of people don't make that pivot. They stick to an idea that's not working indefinitely. And so kudos to you for seeing that, you know what, this is just performing better, and we're open to making that change to giving the audience what they want. Because a lot of people make content. This has been a key insight across the interviews. They make content for them, and not enough for what people actually want to see.
So were you looking at the analytics and then being like, oh, something's not right? Like what was pulling you to?
It was at the time it's likes, and it was before views. Like I would do a cooking video of me making something, and it was 200 likes, which is still really good. Sure. But then I would do like a review of another restaurant in Philly, and that'd be like 600 likes. And then there's a pattern. It's before like Instagram had good analytics.
Yeah.
But like I can tell, well, this one has 100 likes, this one has 600.
Sure.
If I want to grow, I gotta move.
It's like elementary school math. You have 6 apples over here and 3 over here. Which one is higher?
What is it? Einstein says like what insanity is, or something. What's
Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Exactly.
You gotta change.
So I'm assuming those numbers you gave were relatively accurate. The fact that you were doing a cooking video and getting 100 to 200 likes, not just views, likes, is not insignificant either. So did you just have a ton of friends, or how did you get to the point where you were getting that much engagement on your cooking content, let alone your influencer?
I do have a lot of friends. I did and still do have a lot of friends. So I kind of cheated. So my personal Instagram at the time when I launched Feeding Time TV, I was sitting around maybe like 4,000 friends on my Instagram.
Wow, you're a friendly guy.
Yeah, I get around. And I made a decision there too. I was like, listen, I can start brand new from zero, or I can just switch my personal page over to what I'm doing now. And I thought if these are my true friends, they're going to celebrate whatever I do. Mm-hmm. I didn't lose a single friend.
You probably gained.
Yeah, I gained people like look what my buddy's doing. Look.
I love that. Yeah, celebrating the homies.
Yeah, and that's community's huge. Networking's huge.
It is.
That's why I'm here.
I'd probably love to have you here because it's exactly right. To building the community, building the relationships.
In our background research on you, thank you, ChatGPT. A Reddit user noted, "Feeding Time TV is legit and truly one of the nicest people in Philadelphia."
I don't have Reddit, so I don't. That's great.
I mean, that's an actual talking point on you and what you're doing. So I think that is consistent with, that you had a pretty decent following in the first place. You switch over to cooking content. Did you double the following?
No. I'm trying to think. There was a video. There was like 2 videos that really made, not videos, a series that made me jump. So I did a top 10 places to eat at Reading Terminal. Mm-hmm. And not overnight, within 2 weeks of me launching each episode, 10, 9, 8, and so on, I gained 10,000 followers.
Wow.
And then I was in West Virginia. On a bachelor party with me and 5, 6 of my friends. And we stumbled upon this place called, I don't even remember what it's called, but it's a hot dog place. They took 2 school buses, moved them together, and they sell hot dogs out of it.
Cool.
And they sell a 3-pound hot dog called the Widowmaker or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna give this a try. I could not eat it. I ate about a half, like 1.5 pounds of hot dog. But we all had hot dogs. So just imagine 5 dudes in an SUV just drank a bunch of soda and a bunch of hot dogs, and we still have 5 more hours to get to Nashville, or however many hours. It was horrible. It was farts, burps. It was
it's like a high schooler kids,
It was so bad. And just to kill the time, I was like, I'm just gonna make a reel of what we just did. And then horrible Wi-Fi in West Virginia. And I just sent it out, and the video did 1 million on TikTok or something like that. And that I saw another bump of followers. So every once in a while, if you get a viral video, you just jump in a couple thousand followers, especially when Reels was just launched from Instagram. If your stuff went viral, it went they wanted everyone to see it.
Yeah.
Because they were really pushing that. They were giving out bonuses.
Yep.
If you were a content creator when they first came out, because they wanted to move people from pictures to video.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they're in direct competition with TikTok.
Right.
And now YouTube Shorts. So.
Okay, so going back to the journey.
Yeah.
All right, so you, about a year in, you start to do other people's restaurants, visiting local establishments. At this point, are you, first of all, is your partner still involved, or is it just you?
It's just me.
Just you at this point. And are you hey, look, I'm all in on this. I'm really going to do this. Or are you still this is a fun thing. I'm just going to shoot stuff from time to time.
This is just a hobby. I have a full-time job.
But you have a career or a full-time job?
I have a career.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But you're putting out a lot of content. You're doing it the right way. And you've got a significant following. So rewinding back to when you were just a year into this journey, were you convinced that this was going to go anywhere, or were you very much just kind of I'll shoot some stuff from time to time, we'll see what happens?
Yeah, it was let's see, because it's still very much fun. So this is my hobby. Instead of collecting baseball cards or golfing, I like to go to restaurants, and I just like to eat and go to restaurants, and being able to create content's a plus. Because not always, some days I take off. I'll go to a restaurant and I just want to eat. I don't want to do the filming. I don't want to do the light.
Yeah.
because like sometimes it starts feeling like a job, especially when you have to like, all right, I have a schedule, I need to get this out, or if it's a paid gig, because there are paid gigs with this and contracts, which is like a whole nother discussion too. But like if I'm signing a contract, I have deadlines, I need to have them complete.
Okay. So how has your approach evolved over the last, I guess, 4 years since you started filming restaurants and you going to restaurants?
Now, to be honest, unfortunately, the content's shorter. When I first started filming content, it was longer. Now it's like, I would say 30 seconds is the sweet spot. People's attention spans aren't there.
I'm coming to the same conclusion.
Yeah. Like I would love to do longer format. There's some people doing some really cool longer format stuff, but like I would need the cameraman, I'd need to edit longer, and I would put it on YouTube because there's so many restaurant owners, chefs, restaurants that have such a like awesome story behind whether like this restaurant's been open since like the 1960s or 70s, or this chef is an immigrant and he's coming and he's cooking his grandmother's recipes. But 30 seconds is hard to get that all in.
It's hard
Totally.
to communicate that.
Oh yeah. So YouTube is definitely easier if you have longer format, but people want to just consume short format stuff. So at the time, that's what I'm doing.
And it's challenging because within 30 seconds, you're communicating so many different messages.
Yeah.
Take a look at the chef, look at the story, look at the food, look at the
Too
ambiance,
much.
look at my reaction. Like it's a lot, but it seems to be like that's what people want.
Yeah. The first 3 seconds they say are the most important in a reel because you need to grab someone's attention before they swipe to something else. So like that's something that I did incorporate in my stuff.
What's your approach to that now, the hook?
I hate like a lot of creators have like a hook or a tagline. I just like to show whatever it is I'm eating, the best thing. I try to maybe start with that.
Like the end result.
The
Yeah.
visual, and do you have a formula to what you say? Believe it or not, I think the nuance is super interesting here. Even the fact that it sounds like you're like, look, I just tried to show the best thing I ate, and you're not maybe overthinking it, or I don't know if you're trying to put a lot of motion in it. People have all these different formulas, but people don't agree. And again, for a local food influencer, you're killing it.
Yeah, you have to figure out what works for yourself. Like I break my own rules because like sometimes like this doesn't fit. So to be honest, like it's whatever I'm feeling at that moment. Like, if you listen to some of my videos, you can tell when I'm filming because like if I sound really sleepy or like slower, it's because I'm doing it really late at night after like work and then a meal. And then if I seem really chipper, it's usually because I'm filming or recording on a weekend.
So regarding your voiceovers, how are you recording your voiceovers?
I do everything on my iPhone.
So microphone,
I use a DJI mic that I plug right in.
you're plugging that right in, picking it up, and that's where you're recording the VO.
Yep, I do everything. I use Instagram and CapCut.
And that's the stack.
And a 2-year-old iPhone. I need to upgrade, but
Separate from your everyday phone.
no, same.
Same phone. And I meant to ask earlier, just for clarity and the rest of the discussion, are you embracing TikTok as well?
I do have a TikTok, not as large as following. I have like 20,000 followers on there. My core is at Instagram.
And Facebook?
Yeah, I have a small Facebook page.
Small
YouTube?
Yeah, I do, but like I don't keep up with it.
So you got Instagram as number one.
Yeah,
What would you say number two is?
TikTok,
Number three?
Facebook,
Number four?
YouTube,
Number five? Get the hell out of here.
Threads.
Clubhouse.
I find your minimalist approach fascinating because, again, you've had great success.
Well, I find it interesting that I think there's a lot of wannabe creators or creators who sit in their bedroom at night scrolling, being like, I could do that, but think the barrier to entry is so high.
To people that say that, I got two things. Like, there's always going to be the, I can do that. Well, then do it.
Right.
And
Fucking
then-
do it.
And then if you are someone who really wants to do it, there's no better time to start doing it than right now. I wish I started doing this when I got out, like when I was in college, because I see these young kids doing it now and they're getting invited to these places, like free food, free drink. I was like, if I was in college, this would be so cool. Like, it's still cool now, but like now I'm an adult where like I don't have to go to every invite because if I really wanted to go, I could just go and pay for it.
I get it. Like, imagine, rewinding the clock a little bit and being, at that time and place where time doesn't seem to exist.
Yeah.
And you have this opportunity. I remember back in the day, John, Yelp parties, the VIP Yelp parties.
The Yelp Elite party.
Yelp Elite parties. Do you guys remember those?
I was never Yelp Elite.
No.
I got invited to a couple of them, back in the San Diego days.
I've been marked elite for some of my shit talk on Yelp.
Have you?
That's about it.
Really?
I have some elite shit
Yo,
talk.
Are you a complainer?
I've been known to drop a negative Yelp from time to time, but no, I'm actually not that guy that makes a habit of going on and complaining about businesses. Definitely not. But there every once in a while, there's that one.
I would say
There's that one.
just knowing the industry and talking to owners and people, before you go to the Google reviews or the Yelp, reach out to the restaurant, because most likely, if you don't air your go right to them. They're going to make it right. And if they don't make it right, or if
Then
they're rude, go ahead, write them out.
Right.
But I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, the restaurants are going to be like, please come back in. I'll give you a gift card. I'll comp you in that. I'm so sorry to hear that experience. But there's sometimes I'm reading Yelp and Google reviews, and I swear the people writing these reviews are fucking idiots. I went to Alpen Rose and they charged me extra for mashed potatoes. I was like, this isn't fucking Outback.
It's a la carte.
This is a really nice steakhouse where if you want sides, they're gonna be extra. This isn't a $20 20
Sizzler.
Yeah, it ain't the Sizzler.
Totally. All right. So as you're growing your following, I'm
Yeah.
curious if during that journey and even today, if there's certain thing when visibility drops, are there certain things you look at? Are you analyzing and assessing certain elements of the videos that might be different, or you're like, fuck it, I'll just do better next time?
If I'm in a slump, I do cheesesteak, hoagie, or pizza content because it is low hanging fruit.
Low hanging fruit.
Low hanging fruit.
As I shove a strawberry in my mouth.
Dude, it's if I'm in a rut and I'm not getting the views I want, all right, I'm going somewhere to get a cheesesteak. And I was in a rut 2 weeks ago, and I went to 4th Street Deli, and that video's up to 850,000 views.
But okay, before we get to
Whoa.
No.
That's brilliant.
But I want to dissect it a little bit.
Yeah.
What constitutes a rut? How do you know you're in a rut?
If I can't get if my videos are doing under 10K views, that's for me that's the rut. For some other
For a couple days in a row. Now you're starting to set the pattern.
5,000, 7,000, and those are not bad numbers at all, because the people viewing it are the people who I really want to view it. And that's the great thing about my core following. People believe what I say. People trust me with my recommendations. So I do not promote one place last year, but because I was under contract. But I do not promote. I won't promote a bad restaurant, because we're all working. We all have money and money that we need to put out for food. So the last thing I want to do is send you to a restaurant that the food's not good, and then you get there, you waste $50, $100 on your dinner, and then you're like, that guy told me this was good and this is shit.
So you're taking almost responsibility,
Yeah.
you feel a sense of responsibility, as
100%.
opposed to the creators that are I'm just giving an honest review. If it's bad, I'm going to say it's bad.
Well, here's another thing that I do differently. I don't give bad reviews. If the food's not good, I'm not going to do a review.
So you'll just scrap the content.
I'll scrap it. So if they invite me out, I will have the awkward conversation of asking them how much the meal is. I'll pay for my meal, and then I'll bounce. Usually what happens is, let me make you something else. What was wrong with it? It was nothing. It was just not my thing. I want to pay for my food. And
Well, and there's probably also the middle of the road too, right? It was fine. It was good, but just not super inspiring. So, right?
Well, I try to do my research too, because every pizza shop in South Jersey and Philadelphia is reaching out. We want to have you come in. So I'll look at their ratings and I'll look at their menu, but sometimes they're not doing anything crazy. Or I ask them, how long are you proofing your dough? And they're like, we don't proof our dough. And I'm sorry. It's we don't proof our dough. And I was like, well, that right there, why am I going to even come in?
No. So give me your proofing. How many hours?
They just need to proof it. It can't be.
So if he would have said yes, you'd I'll be in there.
If someone said oh yeah, I do a 24-hour proof and
Yeah.
I use King Arthur. If they can really talk about their product, but if they can't talk about it and they can't tell me what interesting things they're doing, then
King Arthur's what?
It's a brand of flour, and I'm not saying it's the best, but they do make.
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
It's a popular brand.
Double zero.
Double zero. The doppio zero is the Italian flour.
Right.
Right.
So this brings to mind an interesting point, which is It sounds to me like you're a little bit of a student of the culinary craft. You were cooking first for Instagram. Now you're asking somewhat technical questions to the chefs to vet them. Yeah. So is that part of the formula here? Is that you are a bit of you're an enthusiast not just for good tasting food, but how food is made?
I'm a sponge, and I want to know. I would say for the average influencer, I would say I know probably 90% more than the average Philadelphia influencer about food. I can have a conversation and not say a restaurant's name. I could say a chef's name, and I would say 80% of them wouldn't know what restaurant I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, oh, I love it. Like I just saw Jesse Ito the other day, and he made like this amazing dinner. So like, oh, who's Jesse Ito? And that tells me you don't know. One, you don't know sushi. Two, like you're not on the same level of knowledge. Like something simple as like you knowing if it's a Star or Scholsten restaurant. Like, because those are two really big
a Michelin star versus a what? Or
James Beard.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's another thing. Philadelphia does not have a Michelin star.
Really?
We do have James Beard award-winning restaurants, but no Michelin stars.
No kidding. So just to run that back.
Yeah.
You have a genuine passion for how food is made. You were at least cooking for some time in front of a camera. You're genuinely interested in who the chefs are, what the lay of the land is, what his technique is. You attempt to be a sponge.
Yeah.
And you're leveraging that information to help screen out wasted trips and to make sure you're not going to places that are a waste of your time.
Yeah. I don't want to say waste of time. It's just...
Well, my man doesn't want to eat bad. He want to eat well. Like, at the end of the day, right?
I get like 3 to 4 meals a day. I want to make sure they count. Especially with...
3 to 4. I love it. Go on.
Well, like first dinner, second dinner.
The first...
But
that's excellent.
But yeah, you can only consume so many calories in meals, so you got to make them count. And that's not saying that like mom and pop or pizza shop isn't doing a good job. It's just you need to be doing something different for me to like really want to go to a pizza shop. Yeah.
Okay, so back to pizza shop.
Yeah.
Back to rut. So your playbook is views are down. Look for the most celebrated food of the area.
Yeah.
And go there. I really think that's pretty brilliant. Simple, but brilliant. Are there other things you're assessing or you have found that just are almost always going to drive video views down? And if you tweak these elements, these items, they will almost certainly help drive video views up. Like, what is part of your playbook or formula?
I got like little tricks. Like I'll say a word incorrectly, because I know there's going to be at least 5 people breaking my balls. You said it like I did a video for a buffet and I said I pronounced sashimi wrong on purpose, or I pronounced the name of the restaurant, which is like really like I don't like doing it all the time.
I love it,
but
that's a good hack. It's a good tactic.
People
it's a good marketing tactic.
People can't stand like, oh, can you? He just said sashimi was so weird, or
but like, I'm doing it on purpose. I got you to do what I want you to do.
Yeah, or umi. Like I know umi means wave in Japanese, but I'm gonna say UMI, and people lost their fucking mind. They lost their mind,
and so you got a ton of engagement out of that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. With I embrace negativity and like hate comments. I got my first hate mail. Someone saying that like they hate me,
really,
and like they wish.
Don't they know that according to Reddit, you're the nicest guy in Philadelphia?
How dare they?
It was actually, we were talking earlier about Doom, the metal bar.
Yeah.
Someone wrote me a whole email of how I'm a poser, that I don't like Pantera, that I eat shit food.
What?
And like all this stuff. I was like, yo, kudos to you, because this looks like it took you 10 minutes to write. And I was like,
you really care.
I didn't respond.
But do you like Pantera?
I do like Pantera. I like metal. I grew up listening to hardcore music.
Before I bring up the next topic, I'm curious, do you have any other tricks, hacks, things you look to do when you're in a rut or you just see videos or underperforming?
Tricks, hacks.
If not, we'll shift gears.
Those are like I'm trying to think what else. No, that's like I said, cheesesteaks, cheeseburgers, like food that everybody likes and are opinionated about. Like people,
everyone has their favorite, right?
Favorite way. Wiz, Cooper Sharp. Like people will argue about it all day long.
Where are you?
Well, you know, actually, that's a new layer to it that I wasn't expecting. I'm thinking you're doing the popular stuff because people love that stuff, and I'm sure that's part of it.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. The fact that people are so opinionated on it is similar to your point about mispronouncing something. You're almost doing it my words, not yours, but to trigger people a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely is a
1,000%.
trigger. Or what's the term called? Like clickbait almost. Mm-hmm. But like that's the thing. At the end of the day, the content
innocent, though.
is still whatever I say on my content. That's what I believe. So like I might say some things that are maybe spelled incorrectly or spoken incorrectly, but at the end of the day, the heart of the video is still me saying this is a good place to go.
Yeah.
So-
And I actually do want to go back to format too.
Yeah.
You mentioned 30 seconds, which I was saying I'm kind of coming to the same conclusion. And it's tough because there's so many other things I'd like to say, but I just think people will check out. So if you're covering a restaurant, 30 seconds, do you have a checklist of things you want to cover during that 30 seconds? Or is it just what was the best and what was good about it and you should go?
Well, it's always you should go because if I'm posting it, you should go. But it's always like my favorite part. So I might eat 10 things in that meal. So I'm going to highlight the best things that I ate. So, or if there's like an iconic, like if a restaurant has an iconic dish, I definitely want to highlight that and maybe talk about that. So, yeah. So if there's a signature dish or one that's very popular right now, I'll weigh in on it. Like I was just in Baltimore at this Cafe de Leon, and they're doing in Baltimore. It's viral right now. They're doing this crab bagel with crab meat, cream cheese. Really good. People are saying it's the best thing they ever ate. Like my honest opinion, it's very good, but I like the breakfast sandwich better. Like
At the same place.
same place,
What was it called?
Cafe de Leon,
In Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Do you purposely try to go to places that are trending, people are talking about them, or does that not really factor into the places you choose?
If the food looks good, or if they're doing something intriguing, like I can't discover everything, and most of the time I don't. Like people are like, oh, you should try this place out, or I'll see it when I'm scrolling, or I'll read like new restaurants opening up from Michael Klein from the Inquirer. I was like, oh, this concept sounds good, so I'll keep tabs on them. So it's a little bit of whatever I'm feeling, because like some days I'm going where I want to eat, and then some days it's going where my wife wants to eat. So it really depends on the day, to be honest with you.
How much is your wife making the decisions on where you go eat and what you should film?
And your wife's a foodie, it should be said. for
Right,
the audience
you're
that
right.
doesn't know.
No,
She's
you're
a
right.
successful restaurant owner. So
So she's not.
She pulling the strings?
Sometimes, like she's not a sandwich person, so she'll.
Not a sandwich person.
She's a soup person, and she loves Asian food. She loves Thai, Vietnamese. So like I'm always down to eat whatever she's doing. It's just like I don't do soup in the summertime usually.
Yeah, for sure.
But she like I'll have leftovers, and then she'll take the leftovers and make it into soup for breakfast.
What?
Like that's
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive what she makes in the morning sometimes.
Superfied.
I'm
Yeah,
getting.
stupefied.
Get
like
stupefied.
stupefied.
It's funny. My wife's
Actually-
a soup person too.
Actually, shout out Superfied. Shout out to Michelle DiPietro. Madra with Michelle. She had the book called Superfied.
she does have a book. Called
That is her
Superfine.
book.
Do you know Michelle?
I do not.
Oh, she's awesome. Local Italian gal that's successful cookbook writer, chef,
blogger. Yeah, the whole thing.
I'll have to connect you guys.
Yeah.
What restaurant was she a chef of?
She was actually a consultant at Whole Foods for many years and
Oh,
a
cool.
private chef in New York. But now she's down back here in Jersey, and she did a whole thing called Mangia with Michelle, and she just does a bunch of Italian recipes. But she made a book during COVID, all of like Italian recipes, but in soup, like chicken parm soup and veal marsala soup. Yeah.
I would try it in the wintertime.
Is it accurate that when you go to these places, you're ordering a lot of different items, or do you try to just stick to one?
No, I order a lot of stuff.
That's the impression I'm under. That in itself, I think, might be a little bit unique because I see a lot of the food influencers. They go to the spot, they get the thing. That's the video.
Yeah.
But you're ordering a range of items from the menu.
Because it's what I want.
So you kind of going there and going like ordering everything that like piques your interest? Are you limiting it to a certain number or a dollar amount?
I should limit it to a dollar amount. It would help my wallet out. No, it's really whatever looks good to me. What helps is if we're there with 4 people, I can get more things. But it also has to be the group that isn't going to find me annoying with a light and they have to wait 10 seconds to eat. Which, like, listen, I appreciate the crew that does come out. Like, they know I'm doing it. But yeah, the more people you have, the more of the menu you can get. I don't waste food, so the food that I don't eat comes home, and then, like I said, my
Makes
wife
the soup.
What makes the soup?
Pizza soup tonight.
Pizza soup.
But like, it's hard to like. I'll never go to a restaurant and just get one thing unless the restaurant only sells one thing, which I can't think of. The only restaurant that I know that sells one thing only, is there's a burger place in Ireland called Bunsen, and they only do burgers.
In Ireland.
Yeah, they do burgers and fries. So the two things. So I lied.
It's like that fucking chicken wings place or chicken tenders place everybody loves.
Wingstop.
No, Canes.
Get the fuck
I
outta
walk
here.
into the Canes and I'm like, what's all the hype about? They sell the fingers and fries, two things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
And
don't
sweet
get it.
tea.
I do think I finally figured out though why people like it so much. I actually think it's the sauce.
Oh yeah, the cane sauce.
Sauce is dope.
Cane
Is it? I've never had Raising Cane's.
The cane sauce is dope. The rest of it I could
I
take or leave.
would, I would give it a try, but like I wouldn't wait in line for an hour for it.
Right.
I'm not
I think what it was is like with anything, like
novelty.
that and supply and demand. Being in New Jersey or
Supply
Philly,
and demand.
you
With a lot
can't-
of chickens.
well, no, like you can't get it. Well, you can get it now.
Oh, because there's a limited location. There's
Yeah.
only a couple locations.
I'm picking up that there's a lot of little things that you do organically,
Subconsciously.
that come to you naturally that I really think have been keys for your success. I actually think the fact that you roll up to a joint and you're just like, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take that. I think that's differentiated and I don't know if I'd say key to your success, but not hurting.
Yeah.
It's helping.
Are you telling, when you show up to a restaurant, are you telling them who you are and what you're doing?
No, not at all.
So you're just obnoxiously ordering.
What's funny is like when it's me and my wife, it's happened more than once where the waiter's like, "That's a lot of food. You sure you want?" I was like, "I'm sure." And then sometimes like we'll finish it and like they'll say like, "Oh, we're impressed." Like, damn. But no, like so the way that I conduct my business is like there's definitely influencers that do that. Like they'll write or email or DM someone like, "Hey, I'd love to come through, comp my meal," or
Yeah, they're looking for a free meal.
or money. Like listen, I'm not an idiot. If a restaurant reaches out and they're like, "Hey, here's we'd like to pay you to come out," and if it's something that looks good, then yeah, I'll take it. But here's the thing too: like if I'm getting paid or if I'm invited, it's gonna say it in my content. Like I was invited. This is, or I'll say ad or sponsored, partner, stuff like that. Because
Do you find that impacts your analytics?
yes, analytics go down.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. You're
Yeah.
getting the upfront cash.
Or contract,
or
free
whatever.
food, and then it goes down. Because I think people want like genuine reactions.
Why Yelp was a thing. We're back to Yelp and the Google reviews. Like, for the most part, it was meant to be for genuine reactions
Yeah.
and genuine reviews.
With Google reviews, I wish Google reviews allowed like, all right, you can comment, but other members can comment on that comment. So if you leave a stupid ass comment, I can comment like, you're a stupid ass.
Hey, Google, we're looking at you.
Yeah, I'm saying
We're
like
looking at you, Google.
engagement would go up, or you could upvote people's things or give them the thumb down. So that comment about one of the best restaurants in
Right.
Philly, the guy's like, "Oh, mashed potatoes cost extra." Like, you're an idiot. Thumbs
Right,
down
right.
on that comment.
Hey, Google, stop with Gemini and do more of the commenting on the reviews.
So, to the degree that you're comfortable sharing,
Yeah.
I'm really interested in how you're structuring, I guess we could call them brand deals,
Yeah.
how you're monetizing this. You know, this is an area that seems a little bit like a black box as an outsider, B, a really tricky scenario because restaurants are kind of difficult to work with. Right. And C, like, how do you do it while still staying authentic and not losing your base? So I'd really be keen to hear you open up on this a little bit.
Ooh, so I would say the majority of my content I pay for. It's better that way. That way I can control my deliverables. So if I go into a restaurant and I pay for my meal, I can post whenever I want, or I don't have to post. So I don't have any strings attached. As far as brand deals go, I only work with companies that I really like. I work with Wawa. Wawa's
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Wawa's a big brand partner. I love working with them. It's a brand that they rolled into Runnymede, my hometown, when I was like, I don't know, 12. And I was brand loyal ever since.
It changed your life.
It did, probably.
I have so many things to say about Wawa.
All right, hold that thought,
outsider.
especially since he's a partner. By the way, I'm a Haddon Heights kid right down the road. So,
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Runnymede, Haddon Heights. Can you, to the degree that you can share, how is that structured? What does that look like?
So
That's legit, bro.
I would say not just Wawa, but like any brand that I've worked with. Like I've worked with Taco Bell. I've worked with, I'm trying to think bigger ones. Frontier Airlines.
But Wawa's ongoing, or are they all ongoing?
Wawa is the only one that I have a carrying contract with now.
What can you tell us about how that's structured?
I can't tell you anything about how that contract is structured. I can tell you about other contracts.
Okay, yeah, it's about past contracts, yeah.
All right, so past contracts, a contract with other brands, I would say they have a budget. There's room for negotiation, and you really need to, as a creator, you need to figure out what your time's worth.
Okay, and they want multiple posts, not just one, right?
Depending on the contract, to be honest with you. So it could be someone that, like I can talk about Taco Bell. So Taco Bell will want like 2 reels and X amount of stories. You need to cover like XYZ in the content, or there might be like a call to action.
Certain products, certain features, certain things. Yeah.
And then there's usually a content review. So you read the brief. There's a brief. And like I just did a campaign with Septa. So there's a brief of what they're looking for. They give me creative control of how I want to convey that message. And then there's a review process. So I finish and then I send it over for approval and they'll send back edits. And then I'll send it over like the new content and they'll like, good to go. Or no, we need some more corrections. But like at that time, I've done enough of these where I build that into the price. Because it takes longer time. If I got to reshoot something,
Right.
If I got to go back on the Broad Street line to get content because I didn't get a map or something like that.
Yes, we've run into that a little bit.
Are you dealing with the brand itself or like an agency?
That also depends.
Like Taco Bell, I'm sure you were dealing with young brands that have a bunch of agencies.
They have like either a marketing agency or an ad agency that I'll be working with.
You reached out to them or they reached out to you?
No. Everybody. So this is the thing too. Like with my full-time career, I don't have time to be propositioning people.
Right.
So any brand deal that you see me do, it's because someone approached me.
They came to you.
Yeah.
And how are you thinking about, or are you thinking about limiting the amount of work you want to do for these sponsors so as to not dilute your natural credibility?
Yeah, so that's really important too. Because I don't want, like, I think last month it was like 2 different sponsored pieces of content that came out, and I don't like doing that to like my followers. Like, listen, I do believe if I'm agreeing to do a partnership with a brand, it's a brand that I believe in, the brand I like. I'm not doing something with like, I don't know. So, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a brand.
Probably don't want to trash anybody, but
Yeah,
Monsanto.
that sounds like that you're waiting for a little bit of a perfect storm. Kudos to you. You have the crowd credibility and following to get those things to fall in your lap, but you need that perfect storm of they come out to you and you happen to like them enough where you're willing to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Probably drives your price up too.
Oh yeah, because like, who reached out? Cheech and Chong has like these
Yes.
new gummies, and their marketing people reached out, and like my corporate one, like I have a corporate job, and I was like I would love to do these gummies or whatever, but like that's not my brand.
Cannabis gummies.
Could you send them over our way?
Yeah,
please?
I'll send them the
Because Cheech, I'm down to market your gummies.
Chong, let's go to Tijuana.
Oh yeah, you're a San Diego guy, so you probably just walk right over.
Oh, I've spent my 18 to 21. I spent every weekend in Tijuana.
Talk about ECW. Those the luchador masks in Tijuana were insane.
Let's talk about ECW real quick. For everyone who's watching this, John's making a face. Everyone who's watching, what does ECW mean?
Extreme Championship Wrestling. It
love
means
it.
blood and violence. It's not made for everybody.
Yes.
You're totally Beavis and Butthead.
Who's your favorite wrestler? Did you have a favorite out of the whole crew at ECW?
I didn't. I don't. Who was yours?
I really like Sabu. He just
It's
because
been so long since I.
yeah, dude, he would do a moonsault off like the second story through like 10 tables.
Right.
And just as a kid, you're just like, oh my God. You didn't even know human beings could like bend that way. And that was before like Rey Mysterio and everybody like that.
He was the San Diego guy.
Yeah.
He was.
Because he went to high school with POD.
I played in a band that opened up for POD.
Oh, that's crazy.
San Diego
Absolutely, yeah. Payable on Death.
Yeah.
They were fucking awesome. They were from the town that I lived in. They were from Chula Vista. Shout
Yeah.
out to POD.
Okay. So,
Back to food.
Wow.
well, and it's actually, would you believe we've been talking for like over an hour already? I can't believe it.
No,
Unbelievable.
you're gonna have some editing to do.
Now we don't edit shit.
Yeah. And this has been great already, man. But I've got a couple more things to bounce off you, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this has come up a little bit with our show that you're a part of right now, where we ultimately said, we're just going to call it the NJCS, NJ Content Studio show. But we were originally worried that we were pigeonholing ourselves too much into New Jersey because we want to give ourselves room to expand. So how are you thinking at all about like, am I just the Philly guy? Do I ultimately want to take this beyond Philly? How are you thinking about like your regional locus of influence?
I make content wherever I go, wherever there's good food. So that's also why I didn't name myself like a lot of these other influencers, Philly this or PH this. Or I didn't want to pigeonhole myself. I had the foresight to think, like I would love to do everything. Like I like to travel. I like to highlight different foods from everywhere. Excuse me.
And you make content in West Virginia. You mentioned Ireland. Have you made content internationally?
Not lately, because I'm trying to think. I made some content when I was in Argentina.
You did.
Made some content. Well, Hawaii is a U.S. state, but
Did it underperform?
yeah, it did.
For sure. Right.
And some of the stuff that I was doing in Argentina was some of the most beautiful things you've ever seen.
Right.
There was
Fucking irony.
There was a 6-foot metal globe of meat spinning.
Meat?
Of meat.
The meat?
It was a
meat
grill.
globe?
It was a meat globe spinning over a fire.
My kind
and I was
of
like,
globe.
how did that not get 1 million views? But me eating a 3-pound hot dog did. Like it boggled my mind.
Totally.
So I think it's also
Interesting.
yeah.
Have you found that the more fancy or elaborate or niche the food is, the less it performs?
Yeah. So I would say the best performing things are meals that are under $20.
It totally
Cheap
reminds
eats.
yeah, it totally
Cheap
reminds
eats.
me of some of the things I'm realizing with, I basically live in the world of B2B content. Even this is really content about how to grow, in our case, a social media business, but we mostly do B2B content. And here's what I found so far was the stupider the content is, the better it performs.
Well, it's accessible. Everyone can relate to it. Everyone has an opinion on a fucking cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone and their mother.
And it gets back to this recurring theme of like, it's not about you, John. It's
not.
It's not about what you find interesting.
not.
And if the idea is visibility and engagement, the more, to use your word, accessible the content is, which generally means, I shouldn't call it dumb or
It's not
stupid,
dumb.
but
It's just not.
simple and accessible.
I mean, listen, the world is complicated, right?
Well, I mean, a meat globe is simple and accessible, but like it doesn't get nearly.
is it though?
It's not simple.
Because at first I was like, I thought, and I don't hear very well, even with headphones. I thought you said a me globe, and I was like, they made a globe out of you.
No, meat.
That's weird.
Meat.
But like the fact that it's not in America and it's not something that's on the top of everyone, it's not on top of everyone's mind.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do the thing.
It's a bit of a curse because you want to follow what you're passionate about, what you find interesting. It helps you deliver the best I feel like it helps me deliver the best content when I'm passionate about it. I'm interested in it, but there's this natural juxtaposition
Sure.
between what's everybody else interested in versus the nuance that might fascinate me. And so net is, look, if your goal, at least short term, is views, visibility, you have to do things like,
You have to be on trend.
I'm just gonna say it, dumb it down.
You have to be on trend.
You have to cover the cheesesteak and not the Argentinian meat globe.
Yeah.
But at what point as a creator does it just not work for you anymore? Like if you're constantly doing content for everyone else and not for yourself, at some point you're going to get burned out.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Oh, there's definitely burnout. Like I was saying yes to, or going to so many restaurants. Like to be honest with you, on my phone right now, like if I was locked up in prison, like I could do 3 months every day of content. That's how much content I have on my phone.
But let's go back to the road. If you were locked up in prison.
Yeah, and I had access to my phone.
Okay.
And you mean content you haven't put out yet? you
yeah,
mean?
like I have so much stuff So like there's really good restaurants that I have content. Oh, I don't have time sometimes. Or something new comes.
Plus, you're
and
also
that bumps it.
working a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, right?
More than 40 hours.
More
Yeah.
than 40 hours.
Yeah.
Wes, I know a great content studio that can help with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll put you in the queue, bro. Like, we'll just go.
Two things I'd be remiss not to ask you about before we adjourn for today is logistics. I'm speaking to simple things that can go a long way, and your podcast. So let's cover logistics first.
Yeah, shoot.
So, shoot, I see what you did there, even though it was organic. So it sounds to me like you just roll up with an iPhone, maybe a light, and you're on your way.
Yep.
That's it. What about you see it a lot on, on Instagram or whatever, these like camera techniques, the sweeping technique, the movements,
the
the
panning.
zoom in. Do you even give a shit, or you just bust out the phone, record, and we're done?
No, there's some things that I try to be as less shaky as possible. So maybe I'll drink a beer or do a shot. So I might steady my hand.
To steady the hand.
Yeah. Because like sometimes like you have the jitters. So the last thing you want to do is see like video that's shaking around.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah. At least for me.
So you don't use like any device, like a
No, I don't have a
gimbal
gimbal or anything
like that.
Everything's by my hand. But like, no, I'll do like zoom in, zoom out. I'll do like a kind of like a swirl motion, like kind of zoom in on an angle. But like I hate when I'm watching other people's content and it's real shaky, or if they're speeding up the video and I'm getting motion sickness. So like things that I don't like, I steer away from. But
How much content are you consuming?
I would say at least an hour and a half to 2 hours a day of other people's content. Yep.
Are you specifically going to certain creators' pages? And like, do you have like your go-to
I
competitors?
doom scroll.
You doom scroll?
Yeah, I'm on it and I'm like, where did that hour go? Holy shit!
So you just kind of go and see where it
yeah.
goes.
That, or if I know I'm traveling somewhere, I'll start looking at like that city or that country's content to see like.
Funny you say that. I was recently in Denver on my YouTube. All of a sudden, a Mile High Food guy. Shout out to him because he showed me a place to eat. Was just popping up in my feed, just left and right, knowing that I was in Denver.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You use that when you went to Argentina. Did you do that as well?
Yeah, like whenever I travel, what I usually do is I see if Anthony Bourdain has been there. I see if Guy Fieri's been there, and then I'll do
The Pantheon.
Yeah, the Food Network if anybody filmed there, and I'll do my YouTube search, and then I do my research, and then I hit up the place I really want to go to.
I thought I was the only one that still looked up Guy Fieri.
No, I like Guy.
Did you guys hear that Anthony Bourdain, they're making a movie?
Yeah,
Nice.
they just cast the actor.
Did they? Who did they
I
cast?
don't remember who it was.
It wasn't very memorable.
No, it's like it's a guy. I remember seeing his face, and I was like, that looks like he could be him.
Interesting. I just heard about this yesterday.
Have you ever read the book Kitchen Confidential?
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. I got
have,
it.
actually.
Like, I kinda
in
hope
our
that-
studio.
I kind of hope they just make like the
Just
early
that.
on.
I want heroin Bourdain. I do.
cocky young
Skinny,
Bourdain
chain smoking. Like, let's go.
working in New York, or how's the book
Province,
start?
P-Town.
Yeah, he's on like a shore town.
Yeah, he was in P-Town up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Right. Provincetown.
Provincetown, yeah.
Disrespecting Italian food.
Wow.
And that's always what stood out to me in the book is how he talked about how he shit on Italian food and thought it was bullshit. And then at some point he realized the beauty of Italian food is the quality, the simplicity, and the quality of the ingredients. And he 180'd and it became.
Well, because he was, he was French classically trained. Not to show on the French, but
boy.
the
Here
French.
you go.
Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Don't get Steven started on.
French food is great. I
Is
love
it?
French-
You're
Yeah.
gonna
I mean,
trigger
steak,
Steven.
yeah, steak and French fries and a croissant and a baguette is amazing. But what else?
You got a French pressed duck. You have foie gras. You have all the
French toast.
all the master sauces were made in France.
We're gonna have to school next episode. You're gonna have to school me on the French sauces because I'm not buying it.
Sauciers. There's a whole role in the kitchen in French cooking. Your only responsibility is the sauces.
And that's the problem.
Listen, I like Italian food too. Like I don't discriminate. I'll try everything at least once.
All right. Well, before Steven gets triggered, let's. I just want to talk to you about your podcast. With the time we
Yeah.
have left. So, for the audience that doesn't know, please tell us about it.
It's called Delicious City Philly. It's with Chef Eli Culp. He's with High Street Hospitality, like Fork, A Kitchen, and then Marissa Magnata, who is the producer of the Preston and Steve Show. And then me, myself, and each of us bring a little different. Chef Eli kind of has that like restaurateur, chef mentality, understands all the techniques and what's going on with the recipe. Marissa is a ray of sunshine. She's actually pescatarian, so she doesn't eat meat. So she's always has the I guess the background of this is what I order, because there's a lot of people that don't
Differentiating view. That's
Yeah.
important.
And then there's me, and I guess I've been with the podcast for 2 years. 2 years. They had the podcast longer than me.
Brought you in.
They had me as a guest. They loved me and they asked me to go on, and I turned them down the first time because work was so insane. Work's still insane, so I just make it work now. But every week we talk. Every week we talk about food, news, pop-ups, supper clubs. That's the thing within Philly is real big right now too. Is not only do you have restaurants, you have restaurant collaborations where chef from this restaurant's coming to this chef to cook, or they're going to collaborate. And you have these really talented young chefs that are doing what we call supper clubs or pop-ups, where they might be cooking out of their house or another space. They don't have a restaurant yet, but you will say donate money, so you're invited to this dinner party, and you can get some really amazing food from some really young chefs.
I want to stay on the podcast, but that brings to mind, how often are you basically going out to eat, to a place where you are likely to film content?
Well, I probably eat out 6 out of 7 days a week.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough with two, a married couple where both people work a lot. So you're almost left with no choice at some point.
Yeah,
Do
because
you miss cooking?
from time to time. Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's really nice just to end my work day at 6, 7, whatever it is, and then go to a restaurant.
Totally.
I don't have to go to the grocery store.
Right.
I don't have to clean up. It's just I come home and then I'm done.
I get it. So, but it's 6 days or so a week you're going out. Roughly how many of those are you anticipating you're filming content?
Probably 5.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you're just creating content. You're just capturing.
I'm capturing, but I'm not doing as good a job to putting it out.
Right.
there.
You might not be distributing, but you're capturing. You got a cue, like you said.
And the cream rises to the top, I would imagine.
Yeah, things that are more interesting, or things that I really get excited about. Or maybe I went to a friend's restaurant and I was I really want to help him out and get his content out before something that I like or something like that. There's a lot of different factors. Back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Every week in the podcast, we have a best bite. So we talk about the best thing we ate that week. So we all bring and then we usually have a guest on the show. Usually someone dealing with the food. We had Nan Sato, who owns the company for Wagyu beef, imports it from Japan. She was on the show.
Awesome.
We'll have different different chefs, different people in the food community. Come on, we kind of talk to them about their vision, some of the recipes, the food they make, where they get their start, what's coming up in the future, stuff like that. So it's a really cool snapshot of Philadelphia food scene because it's always changing.
Are you involved at all in the programming or the marketing and distribution of the show?
No, I'm not in charge of anything. As far as distribution, we'll collaborate. The podcast and then my social media account will collaborate from time to time. But no, I leave that up to the producer and everything.
You just roll up and talk
Kind of
about
show
what's
up
good.
and talk.
Yeah.
So what was the best thing you ate this week?
This week I was at a sushi dinner at Ogawa, and it was a tuna cutting. So there was a 200-pound tuna on the sushi bar.
Wow.
They took the samurai sword out.
No.
Dissected it in front of everybody, and you got a piece of
Dice fresh.
Well, actually, dissection would be 2 cuts. They completely butchered this bluefin tuna. Took the head off, took all the loins off, separated by pieces, and then they served it to you. So
incredible.
It was really good.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
I actually say I've never in person seen that. Is that one of the pieces of content that you film that's going to be moving up to the top?
It should be. But I just posted a video today of me at the buffet.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Crab ragoons. I've heard
Yeah.
crab ragoons from you 3 or 4 times today, counting the content I watched.
I love crab ragoons.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
fan.
no, but next week I'll definitely do the 200-pound tuna, amongst some other good things too.
Well, that reminds me of the meat globe conversation, but we don't have to go. We don't have to go there again.
Meat globe
That's what we're going
and
to title this episode.
Meat globes and 200-pound tunas.
with Dave.
Oh, one last
As-
thing I did want to mention with the podcast. We
Yes.
just hosted our first ever what we call the Tasties. So this was the first ever Philadelphia Food Award
Oh shit, that's great.
award show for the food community, the restaurant community. We had a live casino. I think there was like 500, 600 people.
Wow.
The Philly Fanatic was there. We had a 6-foot ice sculpture in there. Bunch of chefs that had a
meat globe, like it
no
was-
meat globe.
Missing out, bro.
We had some amazing chefs just
Wow.
doing food.
You guys hosted it?
We hosted it.
Wow.
Interesting.
We gave out, so the first hour and a half was the award show. The award show was cool because the tables, Giordano's grocery, they made these beautiful bi-level centerpieces, and they were charcuterie boards. So they're edible centerpieces.
I love it.
And it was awesome. We had a bunch of beer and liquor sponsors, wine sponsors.
That's amazing. How live event, is that going to be happening more? Like, I see the crossover. There's a lot. Actually, I just got hit up the other day for someone asking if they could have a live audience here.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is really fascinating. Like is the live event and the podcast thing coming together?
So we don't record live, but we do host events. Usually, I would say like 4 a year. Like we had one
Really?
at Franklin Fountain where it was the podcast, and we were asking people like Jimmy's or Sprinkles, like
Right.
fun
Right,
things.
Keep it simple. Keep it
Yeah.
accessible.
And then we're hosting our first Phillies tailgate
Really?
next month.
Make sure we send an invite this way.
Definitely will.
Oh, we're
Definitely will. We have Mike's Barbecue cooking up meat. We have Kenwood Brewery signed on. Stateside Surfside signed on.
You do a lot with Surfside. Are they a strategic partner of yours?
They are one of my strategic partners. Yeah.
That is not a bad partnership to have. They could sponsor the studio anytime.
And who's the gal producer that Marissa is?
Marissa Magnata.
Is she the one that handles a lot of the business relations,
Brand
and business
partnerships?
aspects of this?
I'm sure I should know these questions, but
We would love to chat with her, and it sounds like that's a whole other episode. How she's growing the podcast
Yeah.
and built something. She's
I would say it's Marissa, Eli, and then the producer that handles most of that. So
okay. Fascinating stuff. So I think we'd be remiss, if we let you go without asking you. Could you give a few underrecognized, underappreciated restaurant recommendations in the South Jersey, Philadelphia area people don't know about, but they should?
oh, underappreciated people don't know about. El McLan in South Philly is an amazing Mexican restaurant that people don't know about yet. Once people try their food, they'll continue to go back. I go there once a month. It's really good Mexican food. I put it up there with like top 3 anybody else.
Really? What, like taco style or
You-
Tex-Mex? Or?
It's like traditional. Well, no, they do some new stuff too, but not Tex-Mex. It's like traditional tacos.
My goodness.
When you get it, really good. They have octopus on the menu. Not many people.
I love octopus.
So good when it's cooked right.
Oh, yeah, right?
Stina Pizzeria on Passyunk, on West Passyunk.
Okay.
We were just down there. Yeah, we got to check.
Where do you
that out.
put them, like, in the rankings of Philadelphia pizzerias?
So it's actually, I would call it a Mediterranean restaurant that does pizza. They have a whole pizza oven. I love
Like
that
a, like a
pizza.
legit, wood fire.
Wood fire.
About fucking time.
And it's a BYO, and he does Mediterranean food really well, and he makes the best tahini buttercream chocolate ganache cake. It's
Tahini.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like our gal Amy Zeidelman from Soom.
Yeah, do you know
Zoom,
Sue?
yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she's
a friend
great.
of ours. Yeah.
she's great. She's great. The company's great.
I love watching their success.
I would say most Mediterranean restaurant and Israeli restaurants in Philadelphia are using her products.
Exactly.
As they
That's
should,
Exactly
'cause
right,
it's
man. You
so
really know your
quality.
shit.
Yeah.
So listen, man. We can't wrap without asking you because we needed a clip.
Yeah.
Who's got the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia?
Oh, the best cheesesteak in Ooh, that's a hard one. You want me to give you my top 3?
Yes.
My top 3 right now is I love John's roast pork.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
And-
Agreed.
And actually, it's become better because unfortunately, Karanji's bakery burnt down, so they switched over to Sarcone's rolls, which is my favorite.
Sarcones. We know them really well.
Yeah, so it's a Sarcone's roll now, which makes it a better cheese steak, in my opinion. And then whether you're pro or anti Cooper Sharp, they just announced that they're going to be carrying Cooper Sharp American.
I'm a Cooper Sharp guy. Yeah.
It's got that creaminess, but
Yeah.
I give Danny the credit from Angelo's. He's the one who put Cooper
Yep.
Sharp on the map.
Yep.
No one else was using that before he did when he was in Jersey and then when he was in Philly.
All right. So we got
I think
2
that might
now.
be the one, is what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Is it 1,
Is it
2?
really just John's roast pork?
John's roast pork is my favorite because that was the first cheesesteak I had outside of Pat and Gino's to show me what like a real
Sure.
cheesesteak could be.
Sure.
So there's a little bit of loyalty there.
Okay.
And then I got like a neck to neck for number 2 and number 3 spot. Del Rossi's cheesesteaks.
Sure.
Haven't had that. Where is it?
That is Spring Garden.
They're coming up. Like, or I might just be late to the game, but all of a sudden I'm hearing that name all the time.
No, it's recent because in the last year he decided, you know what, I'm going to make my own bread. I'm going to learn how to make bread.
Bread's the trick, man. The bread is the thing. Like that makes it.
I agree with you 100% because just like influencers in Philadelphia, the cheesesteak market is extremely saturated because at the end of the day, anybody can buy ribeye, salt, pepper, Cooper Sharp, and then onions and fried onions. The only differentiator there is the bread. So if you're Danny's and you have Angelo's, because anybody else can buy bread at Del Bono's, Versus, Sarcone's, and you can make a copycat cheesesteak.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's a bad cheesesteak.
But it's just a copycat.
Yeah,
There's nothing differentiated.
It's a copycat of the closest thing that you can do to what Angelo's is doing.
What about some of these new cheesesteak spots coming up?
I would say sometimes there's some of these spots are trying to overcompensate and not use enough meat and using extra Cooper Sharp. Like I don't want there needs to be a fair ratio of meat, cheese, and bread. Like cheese is cheaper than ribeye. Like we all know that, so they'll add extra cheese, so it's like gloopy. I don't want a gloopy cheesesteak. I don't want a grilled cheese. I want a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
But Del Rossi's and Angelo's are
Those are your spots.
Wow.
those
Del
are
Rossi's.
2 and 3. Del Rossi's because
All right.
he does his own bread just like Danny. And I guess I'll give Jersey some love. Lilo's tomato pie in Hainesport.
Yeah, so I've heard.
haven't been.
I've heard.
They make it on what they do different is it's at a Versus roll. At least it is when I was there, but they put garlic spread on it
No shit.
and then toast it. So you got this garlic bread, 16 ounces of ribeye, Cooper Sharp. It's like
ounces, my man. You
It's-
know how many-
it's
how much
heavy.
meat? It's a pound.
yeah.
Well,
Fuck.
perfect
Starving,
segue to the
bro.
Yeah,
We
right.
gotta go
Yeah,
eat.
perfect segue to the close. We're gonna go get a cheesesteak right now at
We
Brico.
are, we
I
are.
think the most underappreciated cheesesteak in the area.
Haven't
Brico.
had it yet.
We're gonna get that, and according to Wes here, we're gonna get a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Wes, where can everyone find you if they're not already following you?
FeedingTimeTV on Instagram, and that's the only one that really matters, to be honest, right now.
Boom, mic drop.
There it is.
Appreciate you having you on, bro.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much.
having me on. I really appreciate it. Let's go. Let's
So
go
much
eat.
fun. Let's go eat. Yeah,
Bon
feeding
appetito.
time.
Ciao.
And it's